Welcome folks, and we're gonna get straight into this. This is the reason why, if you wish to know why, Intergalactic will be 100% cooked, and it started with this one.
In any case, let's talk about this intergalactic cry-bully BS. You may remember that a few months ago, Neil Druckmann had an interview where he was talking with the writer of 28 Days Later, and in this interview, he made it clear that they knew at Naughty Dog what they were doing with The Last of Us Part 2, the same way that they know what they're doing with Intergalactic. They know that they are going to piss people off, and Druckmann is treating it with a cavalier attitude. Though, of course, he will position himself and his crew as victims once criticism gets aimed his way, because that's what he does. But as you can see here, Druckmann is quoted as saying, "We made a game with The Last of Us 2, where we made certain creative decisions that got us a lot of hate. A lot of people love it, but a lot of people hate that game." Garland interjects with, "Who gives a shit?" To which Druckmann responds, "Exactly." So the joke is like, you know what, let's do something that people won't care as much about. Let's make a game about faith and religion. And I'd like to point out that this same jackass who acts like he's above the criticism, like he doesn't care about what people think of him, this same guy's studio turned off the comments on the Naughty Dog version of their trailer. But to illustrate how poorly received this shit was, they got 1.6 million views on this trailer, and they were ratioed with 76,000 likes to almost 200,000 dislikes. That is almost a 3-to-1 ratio. The official PlayStation...
Dude, that's a lot. And people say, we are grifting, we don't know what we're talking about, we don't have proof. Well, that dislike ratio, that's your first proof, genius.
They got 1.6 million views on this trailer, and they were ratioed with 76,000 likes to almost 200,000 dislikes. That is almost a 3-to-1 ratio. The official PlayStation YouTube account also put the trailer out, getting 2.7 million views and a nearly 3-to-1 ratio as well, with 111,000 likes to 291,000 dislikes, and the comment section is full of stuff like this. Can I play as the characters from the background anime instead? It's funny how this Druckmann jackass acts like he's above and unbothered by criticism, but then he blocks comments, or several years ago they infamously got videos on YouTube taken down for criticism of The Last of Us, and then someone tried it again the other day with a Critical Drinker video that covered the Last of Us TV show. And then there's shit like this, where Naughty Dog employees make it clear that Druckmann coaches them on how to handle gamer backlash. Make no mistake though, putting this information out there is carefully planned pity farming. They are...
That is quite true. Seriously, how to handle gamer backlash? Well, mission failed, genius. Listen, Neil, remember, I'm warning you right now. You either stop this is gonna be your only warning. If you continue this the same way you do with Last of Us Part 2, guess what? It will bury your studio alive. It will be only a matter of time where you might piss off the wrong people and you will get laid off immediately. I think gamers, close your wallet. Vote with your wallet, okay? So let's continue forward.
Planting the seeds to make themselves out to be the victims for their PR team in the mainstream media. But let's read this article from Bounding Into Comics. It says here, according to Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet lead Tati Gabriel, part of her pre-production work on the upcoming Naughty Dog title has involved a history lesson from studio head Neil Druckmann regarding the backlash faced by The Last of Us Part 2 and its respective cast, as given in order to help her weather the more extreme of her future critics. Gabriel, whose thus far history with the PlayStation subsidiary has included appearances as Braddock in the 2022 Uncharted movie and Nora in HBO's The Last of Us series, spoke to the details of her first video game role during a recent interview given to Entertainment Weekly's Nick Romano. And then let's skip down to where it says, reflecting on her approach to portraying Jordan, especially given how much of a departure it is from her usual roles in both medium and setting, the actress recalled, Neil's been boot camping me. However, more than just the game's lore or narrative, Gabriel explained that Druckmann had instead been talking to her about the outrage level toward The Last of Us Part 2 over its creative choices. I know Troy Baker's experience, she said. I know Ashley Johnson's experience. I know Laura Bailey's experience. And let me just interject, 99.9% of the people who are pissed off about The Last of Us 2 being a shit game were not angry at the actors who portrayed the characters. They weren't the ones who wrote it. They might have gotten some shit, particularly the gal who played Abby, but the irritation from gamers came from people who loved the characters in The Last of Us and were outraged at the writers deciding to unceremoniously have Joel killed, trashing the story from the first game. But I've got to say, I don't think Intergalactic will get quite the same level of gamer irritation as The Last of Us. There will certainly be plenty of mockery, don't get me wrong. So, the crybullies had better make sure that this idiot, this actress, is well trained on checks notes, ignoring what people say on the internet. Wow, that's a really tough job. But no, the thing is that this is a new IP, unlike The Last of Us, where a lot of people were invested because it was one of the biggest franchises from the 2010s, but Intergalactic is going to try to build an audience, and if the reception to the game on their trailers is anything to go by, they will struggle to attract much of anything except mockery. They are a magnet for that. But this actress goes on to say in her interview that she thinks all of this is because she's a woman of color. But, my dude, if you looked like this in the game, nobody would complain. The creatives chose to make the character, the main character of Intergalactic, look like this. And you, as an actress, chose to portray it. As we have been saying, gamers are mostly male. And if you want to properly market a video game, then make attractive female main characters or buff heroic males.
Okay, sorry I had to make it a little bit longer, but that's the thing I need to make a point across. It will be only a matter of time when Naughty Dog shuts down. When Intergalactic gets on 1000%, it'll be either the game failed or Naughty Dog shuts down. But then again, Naughty Dog is owned by PlayStation. I highly doubt they will, unless of course Sony America or Sony Japan cut ties with it. So I don't know if Sony Japan is going to see this. I barely hope so. But if by some miracle Sony Japan is watching this, please, Sony Japan, can you at least cancel Intergalactic? Look, Intergalactic is one of the few games that will tank your studio. It will tank your company. I don't know if Sony Japan will listen, but hopefully they listen. Seriously. Neil, how long are you willing to continue this tirade? Look, you keep on doing this, you keep on censoring people. Here, let me give you for example, Kirsha. Just recently, how many people rallied behind her? This is what happens when you cancel somebody or you censor somebody. The Streisand effect happens. Everyone will rally to that person, and this game, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, will fail tremendously, even though it's not released yet. But sadly, the way Naughty Dog is doing in either this one or The Last of Us, I'm pretty much certain Intergalactic is now 100% cooked. You may disagree with me all you want, I don't mind. I'm not like Quantum TV, who censor comments, or even Neil Druckmann, who false copyright strike people. I don't do that. And that's the beauty, what you sign in for. You're bound to get haters. What you do is accept, move on, and do better. Don't silence or even censor someone. That's a surefire sign that you are going to fail. I think I'm gonna make a comparison before I end this video. It is similar with a YouTube channel. If my video didn't perform well, do I attack my viewers? No, I didn't. I just look back at it, wait for at least a month, and do better. What I don't do is play the victim card and accuse my fans or my viewers, similar with Neil Druckmann. They are racist, they are homophobes, all that sort. I don't do that. So Neil, stop what you're doing, rethink back, look yourself in the mirror, rethink your life. Think back what you did. How many people you threatened their livelihoods? Yeah, you say, who gives a shit? Well, everyone does. And sooner or later, people are gonna come for you. I'm not joking this time.
It's like we're just going around in circles.
Don't worry. Keeping track of our steps.
Leave a like and subscribe if you want gaming news, gaming theories, or you just want to see me play games. Visit my first, third, and fourth channel up here or link in the description.